quotas, the better, and so on. And this really reflects into destroying, a life of a child, because she gets married.
But she's still families, yes, while she's still a kid at the same time.
Yeah, but on the ground and from the research that was undertaken, it's actually very much related to poverty. Because what can they do? I mean, they really cannot spend on the girl, more on the boy actually. But if they find, any chance of marrying her, no matter what, who the man is, then they would do that. And that's why addressing poverty is very important, and would solve many other problems that we are suffering from. But unfortunately, we still suffer with also some other Arab countries like Sudan, like Yemen, from female genital mutilation. It's decreasing, but not at the rate that we hope that it should be decreased. And maybe this also...
Why not at the rate expected? Is it because of awareness campaigns that were not enough? Is it because that other entities should have done their homework and they are not doing? Why?
There's so many reasons, but I think also the mindset of looking at women as bodies only, and the value of women is in a body that she does not control, from the dress code to being, circumcised or not, to how many children she should have, and all this. It just proves that, the value of a woman is very much limited to being a body, and even in the media. She's also sort of being looked at as as a product, sometimes being covered, sometimes being used, and her body being used in order to advertise for other products and so on. So this, diminishing the value of women to that is very bad. And that's why it is looked at, and also the practice of female genital mutilation, when you look or you diminish the value of women to that extent. But if you value women, by their education, by their participation, by their economic role, then it's another shift. And that's why the whole mindset, the whole society should be looking at a woman in a different way, of a complete, equal citizen, and not diminishing her role in life to be a body controlled by society or by men or by her relative, her father, her husband, and so on. So this is very important. That would also improve the status of women in our Arab region, because there are lots of things that still, there is incest, there is honor crimes still in several Arab countries and so on. And we need to make women equal citizen, and be looked at as equal citizen, and not as some sort of a tool.
Well, the value of women, this is another also important point, Dr. Asfour. How can we change the mindset of the society for the belief of the importance of the value of women, and how can we change also her mindset in Arab communities of the importance of her value? How far is she in addition to her community and to her family?
It's not addition, it's measure, It's about really, as I mentioned, not looking at men and women, it's looking about human resources, increasing the productivity of our human resources. So women has a role to play in the economic arena. And that's why one of the things we are really trying to see how we can have projects as business development centers, business incubators, because poverty is a leading really to all the bad habits. And if we really have the woman, we'll be able to have her own enterprise, have her own job, have her own career.
Security and financial.
Of course, because as we mentioned, when you empower a woman, you empower a nation. When you empower a woman, you empower her family. Anything that would really be a financial burden for her will come up to her children, will come up to her family, and that's how we have to do it. How we can empower her to be active in the society, to be productive, to have, if she's in the rural area, how can we help her? If she is in a marginalized area, we have to help her. Even in the cities, we have a lot of fresh graduates even that have no jobs. What can they do? How can we help them? So it's about really how we help them to start their own business, how to help them to have a productive project that would really empower them. How can we help her if she has a product to market her product? That is the real practical issues. Because we find a lot of women want to have a product that they want to have and they don't know how to start the business. Or they have a business and they don't know how to grow the business. Or they have a product, they don't know how to market it. And that comes our role as civil society to help them to be able to overcome these poverty issues, which as poverty, they would really be subjected to all forms of violence, subjected to all forms of forced marriage, subjected to being a second citizen, which is not the case. Because we have to have all the enabling environment, the conducive environment for every human being to be able to be productive. Putting in mind that she has a double burden, because if she is a mother, if she is a wife, if she has also to take care of her children. So one of the things also is that we have to have a conducive environment for her as a woman, as a child girl, as a wife, as a household, because 30% of all the families are household women. They are the ones who are sponsoring their children. So what is the value addition we can do for her? How can we have her? It's not about treating her just like if she's subjected to violence to go to a shelter, if she doesn't have food we help her. No, we should empower her to be able to have her own financial independence. As I have our slogan, financial independence, give you the power of choice and voice. So that if she has a choice and a voice, because she has her own independence, that will really be reflected on her family and her children.
Yeah, having a choice and a voice. And women's happiness is a choice, I guess.
Yes, of course.
How about men? How far are they supporting women on the path of empowerment? And I guess you have met them a lot while conducting interviews, while searching for more data, Dr. Khefagy.
Yes, and unfortunately the number of men who are supportive to women now is increasing.
So they're becoming believers.
Not all men, but some men. But also the good thing is that young men have become much more supportive. And I guess in Egypt this is very obvious after the revolution, because they've done so many things together actually. In public spaces, in making the revolution, trying to achieve its objectives and so on. But normally, and also research tells us this, at the beginning when there are changes, and we've been accustomed, or men have been accustomed for a long time, that they are the breadwinners, that they are the supporters of the family, that they take care of their wives, and so on. Now this has changed very much. We find women that really making good income, sometimes even equal or more than what the husband is doing, and we find women heading their households and so on. So this makes a bit of turbulence to the family sometimes. And then even sometimes he takes it out on her by being much more violent and exercising violence and so on. But this is sort of a temporary working until he gets used to be, no, the traditional roles played by men and women are changing, and it's for the better of the family, because they will have much more income to spend on the family, to spend on the children, to satisfy your needs as a family, as a whole, and so on. So that, normally it takes time until this happens. So maybe we are in this process now. Some men and some young men are moving to be supportive quicker than others, but hopefully that the others will join soon.
Hopefully. How about in Africa?
Well, actually, the United Nations has launched a initiative called he or she.
Yeah, and this is, we have the Secretary General of the Arab League.
Yeah, the first man in the Arab world to really be awarded as being the Amany for he for she campaign.
Right.
Because if we take the African Union Summit theme this year, it is all about he for she. All the 54 African leaders were talking about the Year of Women Empowerment. So this year, 2015, it's called the Year of Women Empowerment, heading towards Africa 2063 Development Agenda. It's about how women empowerment will lead to real development in the 54 countries of Africa, including all our North Africa, including Egypt as a member state of the African Union. So he for she were the 54 African leaders that talked about women empowerment and are committed to put the legislation to empower women economically, politically, and socially.
Hopefully, and definitely women will achieve a lot on the path of empowerment with the support of men. Thank you very much, Dr.Fatma, board member for the Alliance of Arab Women. Thank you very much, Dr. Khefagy. Dr.Amany, Asfour, chairman of the African Alliance.